Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it is your favorite dark sorcerer here. And tonight, on this Saturday night, I'm going to do a cartomancy reading for you that will hopefully help you out over the next week. Okay? So, hey, Kelly Jocelyn, what's going on? Men like gods, welcome. So, yeah, so it's been a long day. Found out a new employee started today at work, and guess who's going to be looking after her tomorrow? Yep, me. This should be fun. I've only been at the company for 2 weeks, and I'm already helping train somebody. Oh, the gods are good. The gods are good. So, yeah. Better half got a new car. Well, a newer car, I should say today. Got her old one paid off. And my car is actually almost paid off. Out of 8 grand, it is now down to $900. So it'll be paid off pretty soon, and I'll be upgrading my car as well. So that's pretty cool. Like I said, trust in the spirits. Guess what? Stuff like this happens, especially when you listen. So, and people wonder why I'm a spiritualist, why I prefer necromancy and practices and black magic and all that fun stuff. So, and Pharaoh Stiller, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. Yeah, it is, Kelly. It is. So, and like last time, I'm only going to be doing a 3-card read. And I just pulled 3 cards. The first card is the Tower. The second card is the 5 of Scepters, and the third card is Death. Don't fret though. Just because you pulled the Death card does not mean you're going to die. Just saying. A lot of people make that misconception. So I like to just put that out there and get it out of the way. It's got a huge, wide range of topics underneath it. So, but anyways, while we begin, the Tower card. Okay, this card is basically straightforward. It is about destruction, creation, and it's one of those cards that kind of reveal certain things depending on the light or shadow aspect of the way you pull it. In this case, you're looking at it in a form of light. Okay, so basically, you're in the creation process, which is awesome. We all know that it's easier to destroy than it is to create, but when you have applied yourself into the areas that you need, you'd be surprised what can transpire. Okay, for an example, if you're If you're trying to get into that new job or that new home, perhaps you're looking for that new car, or you just started seeing somebody. Okay, one of the things they always tell just about everybody knows is before you can start dating somebody new, you got to get over your ex, right? Same thing. You got to destroy to create. So, symbolically speaking, you got to get rid of that dogma, that bad stuff, okay, the negativity, so that you can focus on the full creation process of what you truly desire in your life. If it's a new job, think of upgrading your portfolio, so to speak, okay? When you do this, you want to look at the job that you're going for. Okay, that means 90%, if not 95% of your repertoire is going to have to go out the freaking window. Okay, why? I'll tell you why. Destroying your work history to get a job is always a good thing, because when you go for a job, you want to look at what those duties are. Look at what you have in that experience. Okay, and then apply it. Okay, you write that down on your application. Okay, and when the pr- prospective employer interviews you, you just simply talk about it. Okay, they'll ask you questions. What was this or that? Dealing with this type of situation or whatever. How did you handle it? Okay, what did you need to do? Your basic stuff. But it's very easy to apply the stuff. So again, you're creating something of value to that company that you're applying for. It's like dating. Women tend to make up their mind within 5, 10 seconds. Okay. If you're worthy or not. If not, you're shit out of luck. Okay. So you got to put your best foot forward. Same thing with trying to get a job. Same exact thing. You got to put your best foot forward. Okay. First impressions, always a good thing. So by the time you get into buying that new house or perhaps, dealing with certain situations, it's a matter of looking at the prospects. How are you going to handle them? What do you have to get rid of to achieve that victory? Okay. Remember, creation is the key here. Sometimes you have to look at it from a, how should I say this? Imaginary type prospect first. The arena of imaginary. When you're young and you're a child, you most likely had an invisible friend. Okay, maybe you're making up things when playing with your toys. You know what I'm saying? Those of you who have kids probably know what I'm talking about here. But yeah, basically it's the exact same thing. So when you are planning your steps, I want you to think of the tower card in this case. Okay? What do I have to get rid of? What do I have to destroy that will benefit my creative process in the areas that I'm going for? That is the primary goal of the, the tower card in light position. Okay? It's all about creative prospects. It's all about that. Okay? It's about plentiful benefits. Okay? Now, the next card, like I said, is the Five of Scepters. Now, this one deals with planetary figures. Okay? Number one, you got the alchemy symbol of the planetary. You've also got the spirit of that planet involved, which is kind of cool because you're looking at Saturn, but you're also looking at the spirit of Saturn. So if you're a Satanist, a demonologer, let me turn this so you can actually see it. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to bring it up here. Let me see. There we go. That's almost good. Right here, okay, is the spirit of Saturn. And over here is the symbol on this pillar right here. Okay. Now, don't mind the cross, don't mind the panther, you know, because number one, cats are synonymous with the underworld. Okay. In Egyptian mythology, cats are the guardians of the underworld. Okay. And it's awesome because cats are one of the many species of animals that can become spirit totems or spirit familiars. Okay, even your pet as a witch or a warlock, much like a serpent or a toad. Okay, it's symbolic. Okay, so when we're thinking about this, you're looking from a magical perspective. Okay, which plays along great, and I mean great, with the Tower card, and this is why. We've all heard or even practiced compassion rights. Now, compassion rights fall in many different areas from spell work. Okay. If you're using green candles, herbalism, even if you're going way back in time, herbalism such as thyme, basil, amber, um, not paprika, but parsley, you know, these things, along with sea salt in a grist bag or a mojo bag carried on you, will bring you monetary benefits or gains if you carry it on you at all times until your next pay period. Okay. But here's the kicker: you got to do the work, you got to put the ritual in play, right? So you draw the circle of empowerment, sea salt. You use the grist bag and the herbs. You charge it for that particular intent. Here it is done in the darkness, the darkest planet itself. That is synonymous, depending on who you're talking to. Really, a lot of people say the dark planet is associated with Azazel, whereas it's others would say it's the planet of Satan. But if you think about it, is it really? You know what I'm saying? The ancient people didn't believe in that type of shit. So when they did it, they used the energy and the current of that lunar cycle within the moon and the seven planets. And yes, Saturn was one of those planets. It's a gas giant as we know it today. But it is there. Okay. Now, I know you atheists out there are going, hell yeah. Okay, because I just said they didn't believe in the spiritual nature, but not in a physical being. You got to remember that a lot of ancient cultures, when they performed sorcery, it was more symbolic. Okay. If you look at the ancient hunters of Paleolithic era, what we refer to commonly as a hula hoop, one would kind of roll that along, and another one, a hunter, would throw a spear. If that spear went through that hula hoop, it was going to be a successful hunt and they would go out hunting. Okay. Now, if it did not go through that hula hoop, then they would not even bother with it. Okay. And there's a lot of different cultures that believe the exact same thing, just in different details. Okay. It became synonymous within Greek mythology with the huntress herself. Okay. She became known as the mother. She in one culture, one text, whereas in another, she was just simply the huntress. Okay, she was Artemis, the huntress, the hunter, the female with the bow and arrow. Okay, daughter of Zeus. Okay, so when we think of it this way, this is where you get into spiritual beings or into the domain of the gods. Okay? Not everything is about worshiping the elements of the winds, of nature. Not everything is symbolic. Sometimes it's a matter of praying to a spiritual entity, doing that work, and knowing who to contact in that instant. Okay? For an example, we can go with the Greek god Pan. Okay? Or you can go with Artemis, the huntress. You know, you can contact any number of beings that are associated with money and monetary gain. Hell, even if you're into the Goetia, okay, the Goetic demons, the Salamantic, practices, same exact thing. Look at the beings who are capable of bringing currency to you and do the ritual and rite with that spirit. Okay, same exact thing. Now, the Five of Scepters is more about being on guard against the attack, but at the same time, it's offensive. So you got to think in that duality aspect, that opposite polar. Well, I should say the polar opposite aspect, because of the fact that when you look at this, not only are you watching your own flank, your own six. We want to talk military terminology here, but you're also going forth and doing the work, and that is the key here. You want to do magic and sorcery to open up those doors. It does not matter if you're doing alchemy. It does not matter if you're doing herbalism. It does not matter if you're calling on a spirit. Either way, the rituals are the key. Scepters are synonymous with rituals, rites, and magic. Okay? This is not baneful sorcery. This is just your average, everyday sorcery that you can perform. All you need is a red candle, a green candle, something that represents the earth, and go with it. Death, on the other hand, okay, the death card, okay, beautiful death. Got to give it up for Santa Morte, Hecate, hell, as in Hel. You gotta give it up for her. Mercury is the planetary figure here, right up here, the letter M for Mercury. Okay, with that little loop with the arrow. Now, death does not mean physical death, although it could mean physical death in a, like something's going to die or someone's going to die. But in this case, you want to look at things going on in your life. Okay? Again, all three of these cards are in light aspect. So I want you to take a look at all the things you're doing right now. Okay? You're on the right track, and that's very, very clear. It's very clear because everything's in light. You're making all the good choices, you're making all the right decisions. But I want you to consider this. If you lose focus on what you're doing or you make a misstep, you're going to be in a lot of hurt. Okay? Meaning that business could close, you could lose your house, your format, your flat, car, relationship, whatever. Okay? But for now, you are making good progress. And from last week, where a lot of things were in two of the three cards were in shadow, that's a big step up. Okay? And when we did last week, there was a lot of things that was weighing on you. Okay? Your mind was heavy. You needed to focus, become in balance. You were in balance and you wanted to come back into balance. There was a form of injustice that needed to be made justice. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, there was a lot of chaos last week within that reading. This one is basically straightforward. It means there's been a huge turnaround with your choices, with what you're doing, and you really want to continue on in this direction. So I would recommend, just from these cards alone, continue looking at your life in every step. And now, look at it from an analysis perspective. Okay. When you look at it from, like, say, I'm going to just throw this out here. I know a lot of people know about CSI, the TV show. Okay. Any number one of them, really. I mean, I think they're now on, what is it, New Orleans from last time I heard. Yeah, I lost track after New York. I got into Miami for a little bit, but that was about it. But anyways, when they go onto a crime scene, they are now, they look at everything and they tend to see what needs to be found, right? If only that could be realistic, okay, in real life. In real life, they're powdering everything, they're vacuuming up everything, they're packing up everything, the whole kit and caboodle. They're taping things off, and they'd have to bring everything back, label everything. They got a whole shitload of procedures that they don't show on those TV shows. Okay, so when you look at your life, before you make that move, I want you to take a moment and reflect upon the choices that you've made from last week to this week. I want you to reflect and meditate upon, okay, this is where I'm at now. This is what's going good. This is what's still kind of lagging. So, how do I get this lagging section to catch up with the things that are going good? Okay. What else can I do to either get rid of or to bring in to that, to what I'm doing? Make the plans, make the steps. Think of it like your first steps. Okay. You've already done the first steps. So let's go on to the second steps. Okay. How can I further this agenda? Plan it out. This is where I'm at now. This is where I need to be. How can I do this? Okay. That's what I recommend to you. Okay. But if you're working with gods and you're working with spirits, then I would recommend petitioning them for their wisdom and their guidance. Okay. Because they will work in the spiritual realm just as much as you work in the physical. And trust me, when they align, there's nothing you can't do. Okay. My better half and I both work at medical facilities. Okay. I'm talking nursing homes, long term care type stuff. I'm working in the kitchen. She's a CNA. Okay. She's got tenure. Okay. We're getting new cars. Pretty soon we're going to be upgrading to a bigger place. Okay. So, and this is all because I'm petitioning the spirits. I'm doing the rituals and I'm doing the physical work. I'm going to tell you this, the hard work that you put forth is going to pay off in the long run. Think of it as a marathon, not a race. Okay? I know both of these are races, but you want to be reserved. You want to take your time and go the distance. It's not about how fast you get there. It's about going that distance. Okay? Keep that in mind. All right? So, I hope this has helped you. I hope it will benefit you in the long run. And I'll be back next Saturday with a whole new Cartomancy reading just to see where you are and how well you're doing. Okay. But I'll also be doing videos throughout the week as well. Just kind of keep that in mind because when, there's a lot that's been going on, and I'm going to be kind of showing rituals and some things. Probably share some insight into some topics that I'm researching and getting ready to trace. So that'll be a good thing. All right. So I want to thank Kelly Jocelyn for jumping on here with me. Um, Notice Sandra Graham is on tonight. Welcome, sister. It's been a while. Pharaoh Stiller, I want to thank you for coming on here with me. Men Like Gods, thanks for coming on here with me. You're welcome. So, but yeah, and I want to remind everybody that my services are for hire. You know, you can, if you need a personal reading or, you want work done, I am available to do that. And I also take on apprentices from time to time. Right now, I've got a total of 2 apprentices. I can take on a third or a fourth, but that's as far as I would go in one setting. So, just to keep you up to date. All right. And with that said, have a good night, and until next time.